This segment of the news is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office.
Welcome back to News 46. Well, there will be 4 fireworks shows here in Nye County for the public to enjoy.
Number 9 for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to issue a display fireworks event permit to Pyrotechnical for an aerial display at the Prump Nugget on Sunday, July 2nd, 2017. Item 10 for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to issue a display fireworks event permit to Las Vegas Display Fireworks, Inc. for an aerial display at Front Site on Tuesday, July 4th, 2017. Item 11 for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to issue a display fireworks event permit to Beatty Fire Department to do an annual aerial display for their annual 4th of July event on Tuesday, July 4th, 2017. Item number 12 for possible action, discussion, and deliberation to issue a display fireworks event permit to the Lund Volunteer Fire Department to do an aerial display on Tuesday, July 4th, 2017.
To approve item 9 through 12.
Second. Motion by Koenig, second by Boraski. This is to approve 9 through 12 are all display fireworks on July 4th. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
4-0. 4-0.
And Chief Lewis from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue talks about fireworks safety.
Fireworks safety. Well, I have some reference material I'd like to pass on to you today. 2005, the National Fire Protection Association put out some statistics regarding fireworks. Specifically, fireworks in that particular year started over 18,000 fires, including 1,300 structure fires, several hundred vehicles, and 16,900 outside or grounds cover type fires. Out of those fires, over 11,900 people were injured, mostly to extremity, I think it was over 50%, and then closely followed by head-related injuries. Of those injuries, 15 years of age and lower accounted for 25%. So significant things to consider when we're coming into the 4th of July weekend. So specifically what we want to address today is what can we do to avoid those type of becoming one of those statistics. Number one is follow the local ordinances and the county ordinances regarding use of fireworks. Utilize the shooter's site. Utilize the permits that are issued by our local fireworks stores. Don't utilize them indoors. Don't place them in your pockets. Don't try and reignite duds, things like that. Keep a bucket of water close by, so if there is a dud, allow it to settle for a period of time, probably 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure it's not going to ignite. If so, then dunk it in the water and leave it there overnight. You want to make sure there's no drugs or alcohol involved in any type of activities involving fireworks. Never aim them at each other. Always make sure you have a responsible adult that's on the close proximity, and have a means of calling 911 immediately if there's something that does go awry, whether it's an injury sustained or whether it's an ensuing fire. If there are injuries, still call 911. Make sure that we have the ability to investigate, secure the scene, make sure it's safe, and then get the appropriate care or remedy that would be responsible for the use of the fireworks.
So there are safe and sane fireworks that you can set off at your house, correct?
Technically, you shouldn't use any fireworks at your house, but there are some that are deemed safe and sane. Make sure you follow the ordinances outlined by the Nye County Code to ensure that you're in compliance with the type of fireworks you're going to use, which brings up a very good point. Make sure you read the labels and the boxes that the material comes in to understand what it is that you're lighting.
And even though they are considered safe and sane, they still burn incredibly hot.
Anytime you have an ignition source and there's heat generated in light, you have the opportunity to become injured or even worse than that, or setting a fire or possibly setting a fire that kills somebody. So make sure you follow the ordinances and the laws established, and make sure that, again, you follow the instructions on the boxes that are all the materials contained within.
Well, 60 women and 51 men have taken lethal medication and have died under California's new Right to Die law. The End of Life Option Act allows for California residents to request life-ending medication from their doctor if they're suffering from a terminal illness and have decided that they would like to decide when and where they want to die. A total of 258 people have asked for the drug since last year. 111 patients, mostly suffering from cancer, were reported by their physician to have died following ingestion of aid in dying drugs. 21 people died as a result of their underlying terminal illness, and the outcome of the other 59 people who were prescribed drugs is currently undetermined at this point. The average age at the time of their death was 73, and mostly Caucasian people.
Rate hikes are anticipated for the Federal Reserve. Angela Miles reports in today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, the Federal Reserve is still on track for gradual rate hikes. Fed Chair Janet Yellen made that comment during a discussion in London. She also says the U.S. banking system is much stronger since the financial crisis due to supervision by the Fed. And while Yellen did not comment on her relationship with President Trump, she does have a rapport with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. Wells Fargo officials find out today if the bank passed its latest stress test. The Federal Reserve requires the test to determine if big banks are strong enough to survive a financial crisis. Madoff Victim Fund is about to recover $23 million. The estates left behind by Madoff's sons has agreed to turn over the ill-gotten gains from the infamous Ponzi scheme. Both sons died after their father was sentenced to 150 years in prison. The Department of Justice has recovered $9 billion for victims.
All right, we'll have more of your local news when we return from the break.